Namaste, yogi. Welcome to class. Today is going to be a really fun, long, floaty sequence, so it should be really exciting. I'm smiling super hard because I'm just stoked to be here with you in your living room, in your bedroom, in your space, your studio, wherever. It's great. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share this experience with you. Now, before we jump into class, I do have just a few quick announcements to make. The first one is if you really enjoy these longer classes, then I recommend that you head over to our Patreon community. The link is in the description below. And there, every single class that we post is no less than 60 minutes. Second announcement is if you enjoy listening to music while you practice yoga, then you're in luck because we have over 40 music playlists on our Spotify account, and we recently released and launched a yoga playlist of the month. So every month we'll be updating that list of songs so you always have a good rotation of music for you to flow to. And again, link to the playlist is in the description below. Third announcement is based on our YouTube analytics, we know that 2 out of 3 of you that come and watch and practice with us actually go into your browser, you open up YouTube, and then you type in Breathe and Flow Yoga every time. There's a shortcut for you. You could actually just hit the triangle in the corner of this screen to subscribe to our channel, and then it creates a little shortcut for you. So then you can just open YouTube, and then on the left bottom banner, you will see our channel listed out. What a neat trick, huh? Shortcuts, amazing. Please subscribe. It really helps us out. It helps us create new content. It helps our channel grow. It helps us to expand our knowledge in the world of yoga and meditation and movement so that we can continue to bring the best quality classes to you for free. And my fourth and final announcement for this class is the invitation for you to become more of the observer today in class. You're an advanced practitioner, I assume, which is why you're watching an advanced sequence on YouTube. So this is not brand new to you. You understand that through yoga, through meditation, we are stepping into the present moment. We are becoming the observer in our minds, becoming the witness, so that we can choose our reaction instead of habitually reacting to things. We can actually make more of a conscious decision about responding carefully, responding consciously. Throughout class today, I encourage you to become a witness to the mind just a little bit more. If there's things that offset you a little bit or things that you weren't expecting, come right back to the breath, come right back to the present moment, step back into the now. The more that we practice this on the mat, the easier it is for us to take this off the mat and into the real world. So maybe even right now you're like, okay, when is she going to be stop talking so that I can just do my yoga? This is also part of the practice. It's letting go of expectations. It's becoming the observer of your mind, of your body, of your soul. So with that being said, let's become the observer together. We'll make the best of this experience. Class today is going to be super fun. All you need today is your mat. So whenever you're ready, let's begin on our backs in half Shavasana. Feet are hip distance apart. You can leave the knees apart or let them rest together. Place one hand on the belly and one on the heart. Close down the eyes. Start to deepen that connection to your breath. That connection to your body. That connection to everything that is. Let go of any expectations you have about this class, about what you're going to achieve today, what movements, what transitions. All of that is secondary to the breath. In fact, some of the most advanced practitioners are the ones that sit in meditation for hours and hours and hours. So let go of the idea of being advanced or not advanced. We don't need to add labels to your movement, to your breath. As long as you're focusing on the breath and you keep that connection to the present moment, that's yoga. Continue with those slow, deep breaths. Let the breath continue to pull you into the present moment, so you can tap into that inner stillness, that inner peace throughout the movement practice. Take a moment here to set your intention today. Keep in mind, it does not have to be something physical. Start to blink open the eyes, hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe rock a little left and right. And then bring both legs off the right side of your mat for a supine twist. Extend the left arm out to your side. The gaze comes over to your left thumb. It's all right if your left shoulder doesn't touch the ground or the knees don't touch the ground. As long as you feel that twist in your mid-spine, then it's all good. Bring the knees through center, hug the knees into the chest. And both legs off to the left. A few deep breaths here. With each exhale, see if you can relax a little bit more. Let your spine open up with the help of gravity. Knees come back to center, hug the knees into the chest once again. Start to rock forward and back a few times. Roll out your spine. And we'll meet in boat pose. Shins are parallel to the ground. Extend the arms out towards the feet. Arms are straight. Pull the chest a little bit closer to your quads and then broaden the collarbone so that your shoulder blades sort of come back onto your back. And inhale, lower down, low boat. Extend the legs straight out. Both the legs and the shoulders are hovering off the ground. Exhale, bring it back up, low boat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Lower and lift. Keep it going. Start to find some rhythm in your breath. Great job. Last one up to the top. Hold here with the legs, bring the hands together. Russian twist modification over to the left. So bring the left elbow close to the ground and then through center over to the right. Back over to the left and to the right. Keep that going. Start to feel some heat in the core. We'll need the core just a little bit throughout class today. Okay, a lot. So it's good to warm it up first. Make sure it's turned on, activated, ready to assist with a lot of the poses and transitions. Great job. Last one to the left. Last one to the right, back up to boat. Cross the ankles, bring it forward, tabletop. Couple rounds of cat-cow. Take an inhale, let the belly sink down. Gaze forward. You're on the tops of your feet here. Stretch out the abs. And then begin to round the back. Push the ground away. Spread the fingers wide, but not quite as wide as they would go, almost as if you're just high-fiving somebody. Tuck the chin to the chest, round the back. Now stay on the tops of the feet and then just start to lift the knees off, just an inch. Gently set the knees back down. Inhale, let the belly sink down, gaze forward. Exhale, start to round the back. Again, lift the knees, this time a little bit higher. Push the ground away. Dome the back. Gently set the knees down. Inhale, belly sinks. Gaze forward, tailbone tips up to the sky. Exhale, round the back. Again, knees lift off, a little bit higher. Inhale, let the belly sink. Start to move with your breath. Each time that you're exhaling, you're lifting the knees up a little bit higher. You're starting to straighten the legs a little bit more. We're stretching out the tops of our ankles, tops of our feet. Let's take 3 more. Last one. Gently set the knees back down. And then keep your left leg where it's at. That right leg, you're going to extend it straight back on the mat. Flex the right foot. Now bring the right heel close to the right glute. Keep the right foot flexed so we're really active in the right hamstring, the right glute. And then bring the right leg off to the right and extend the right leg straight out. So the right leg is parallel to the ground. Now if this is already too much for you, or you feel like you're collapsing in the arms or you're compensating somewhere else in the body, then just bend the right leg. It's perfectly fine. So either way here, what we're looking for is to have our inner right thigh almost parallel to the ground. Continue to hold. We're here for 10, 9, keep it lifted, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now extend the right leg straight out if you had it bent, and then bring the right leg straight behind you once again. Bend the right leg. Right foot is flexed. And again, start to bring the right heel really close to the glute, as much as you can. So you're super active in the right hamstring. And then start to lift the right knee up. Slowly lower down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Let's do 3, 2. Last one. Great job. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the back. And then shift forward. You're going to cross your right toes in front of the left knee. Sit back for full cow face. So you'll need to move your left ankle out of the way to make space so you can sit down. Maybe this is already enough for you. So you can just stay here. If this is too much, then you can just come into a cross-legged position. Now if you want to up-level from here and take it even deeper into the stretch, then you can slowly start to lower your chest down over the legs. If you couldn't tell, we're targeting our outer hips, especially after those fire hydrants. Begin to lift the chest if you had it lowered. And then all together with the help of the hands, start to walk The hips up, forward. And now your right leg is already down on the ground. You're just gonna extend your left leg straight back. So now we're on the other side. It's okay if you've become a little bit crooked on your mat. No big deal. Left leg is straight. Left foot is flexed as if you're standing against the back wall. Start to bend the left leg, left heel comes close to the left glute. Start to activate your left hamstring. Continue to push the ground away so you're not collapsing between the shoulder blades. Bring the left knee out to the left side. Option to hold it here or extend the left leg straight out to the left. So the left leg is parallel to the ground and hold. See if you can rotate your big toe down towards the ground just a little bit more. Keep that lift. Bend the left leg if you have to. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you had the left leg bent, straighten it out. And then bring that left leg straight back behind you. Again, bend the left knee. Left heel close to the glute. And then start to lift the left knee up towards the sky. And lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, knee to nose. Shift forward. Cross the left toes in front of the right knee. Full cow face on the other side. Maybe you've already noticed that this side feels much different than the first side, and that's fine. It's actually good that you start to notice those subtle differences from one side to the other. So maybe this is it for you. Maybe you're here, this is good. Maybe you want to come into cross-legged, or you want to lower the chest down. Keep in mind that you don't ever have to do all the things that I'm doing here. I'm just guiding you through options, variations, suggesting things to give you the opportunity to explore it in your own body. So it's really your responsibility, especially when you're doing an online class where I can't see what you're doing. Then it's really up to you to move your body in a way that feels good, to not do things that don't feel good for you. Slow down the breath. Lift the chest back up if you had lowered down. Maybe with the help of the hands, lift the hips back up. And then come back into a tabletop. Tuck the toes under, sit back on the heels, stretch out the feet. And then bring the hands a little bit closer to the knees. Start to shift forward. Come up over the wrists or knuckles or fingers and sit back towards the heels. Send it forward and back. Stay on the palms of the hands. Rotate the hands around so that the fingers are pointing towards the knees. Again, sit back towards the heels. Maybe bend one arm, bend the other. Come onto the backs of the wrists. Fingers again point towards the knees. Sit back towards the heels. Maybe the wrists lift off. That's fine. And then sit back on the heels. Try to stay on your toes if you can. And then reach your arms straight out in front of you. Make a fist with the hands. Tighten the hand as much as you can. Keep the arms straight. And then extend the fingers out. Make it tight and extend. Ball, extend. Ball, extend. Now start to move a whole lot faster. Keep the arms straight. What we're working on here is our extensor muscles in our forearms, which are very useful for arm balances because those muscles help to strengthen our fingers, and we use our fingers as brakes when we're in arm balances. So we want to make sure that these muscles are awake, active, ready to help us out so we can fly. Great job. If you don't feel anything here, then straighten your arms even more. And really make a tight fist with the hands. If you need to come off the toes, you can. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Shake out the wrists. Straighten the legs. Forward fold back of the mat. Maybe without using the hands to get there. Start to sway the chest left and right. Let your head hang heavy. Option to interlace the hands behind the back, send them up over your head. Release the hands if you had them held. Take an inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees, come all the way up to standing. Strong legs. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat, downward dog. Start to walk your dog one leg at a time. Stretch out your calves, your ankles. And then bend both knees, pull your chest a little bit closer to your quads. Really push the ground away so you find as much length as you can from your hips to your wrists. Now, if you're one of those people that's hyper flexible, where you can actually get your shoulders to open up more than 180 degrees, then try to pull back a little bit so you really have that straight line. We want to be putting the work into the muscles, not dumping the weight into the joints. Start to straighten the legs. It's all right if your heels don't touch the ground, of course. And inhale, shift forward, high plank. Shoulders stack over the wrists. You have that lift in the upper mid-back. The quads are engaged. The core is engaged. Wrap the triceps back. Grip into the fingertips even more. Shift forward high on the toes. Bend the arms, chaturanga, so the elbows touch the rib cage and the shoulders do not come lower than the elbows. Lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes, baby cobra. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. One more time, we're going to inhale, lift it up. We're going to hold at the top, but continue to breathe. Lift your hands up off the ground just an inch. And really pull the shoulder blades back. Engage the glutes. Last breath. Lower down. Tuck the toes under again. Wrists are under the shoulders. Engage the quads, lift the knees, press it up, high plank. Shift forward high on the toes, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. tops of the feet. Engage the glutes. Broaden the collarbone. Gaze straight ahead. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open, stack the hips. Flex the right foot, so you're pulling your right toes close to your right knee. And then pull the right heel even closer to the right glute. So you're really kicking on the right hamstring. Inhale, left heel lifts off. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Hold it here. Round the back, push away. Step the right foot outside the right hand, lizard lunge. Gently, softly, quietly, begin to move the hips around. And then keep your left palm down on the ground. Reach your right arm back towards the back of the mat. And then begin to straighten the right leg. Right arm comes forward close to the right toes. And then bring it back. Right knee bends. Send it forward. Start to straighten the right leg. And bring it back. Let's do 3 more. So you don't have to straighten the leg all the way, of course. You're just stretching out the back side of the right leg. Going to whatever depth feels good for you. Last one. And rebend the right leg. Back to that lizard lunge. And then you're going to step forward with the left leg. Left knee will come outside the right ankle. Come to a seat. Seated twist. Right arm comes behind you. And the left hand can just hold on to the right knee. Or you can take the hook with the tricep or the forearm. Either way, the gaze starts to come towards the back of your mat. As you inhale, sit a little taller. And exhale into the twist. 2 more breaths here. Release the twist. Gaze comes back to the front of the mat. You'll keep the left leg where it's at, and then you're going to swing the right leg to the back for pigeon pose. So you can set it up, readjust on your mat if you need to. Send your right leg straight back. You're on the top of your right foot. And for this variation, especially since we're early in our practice, then I'd like you to bring your left heel a little bit closer to your right hip instead of having your shin parallel to the front of the mat. Just until our hips open up a little bit more. So we're not being anything too forceful. We're here for a few breaths. Either stay here on the hands or you can lower down onto the forearms. Start to engage your Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. Begin to lift the chest back up. The wrists come under the shoulders. Use the strength of your arms to lift the chest. Tuck the right toes under, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Open, stack the hips only through the transition as you make your way into Wild Thing. Left toes touch down behind the right calf. You're on the knife edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. Engage the glutes, lift the hips even higher. Gaze back down towards the ground. Make your way into a left side plank. Left palm touches down, knife edge of the left foot, right arm reaches up to the sky. Engage the glutes, send the hips forward, and then send all the energy out the right fingertips. You're really reaching up towards the sky as much as you can. All the muscles in the legs are engaged, and you're pushing up out of your left shoulder socket. Last breath here. Right side forearm plank. So the forearm touches down. Switch the feet, left arm to the sky. So for this, I'd like you to try to get your forearm to be parallel with the right side edge of your mat. So your fingertips are pointing forwards towards the top of your mat. Makes it a little bit more challenging, of course, but it's good. You're here to try new things, explore new movements. We also want to encourage that external rotation of the shoulders. So it's all good, just try your best. Last breath here. Exhale, left forearm down to the ground. We meet in forearm plank. Tuck the tailbone under. And we're just gonna hang out here. Not literally, of course, I don't want you to be hanging out. I want this to still be very active. So if you see that your chest is sinking down, like between your shoulder blades like this, I would really like it if you could push up, create as much space as you can between your chest and the mat. If you need to set the knees down, you can. We're here for just 1 more minute. You can do it. The guy that just broke the world record for the longest plank was something like 8 hours. So we can do 1 minute. You got this. Focus on one breath at a time. See if you can slow down the breath. Try to only breathe through your nose. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips, dolphin pose. Gaze forward towards your hands. Make sure that your arms are again sort of parallel to each other. So there's still quite a bit of space between your hands. Gaze forward, shift forward, chaturanga. Press it up, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Reset on your mat. And drop right into the pose. Waste no time getting there. Reconnect with the breath. Arrive again in stillness. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open stack the hips. Flex the left foot, bring the left heel close to the glute. And then lift that left knee up towards the sky just a little bit more. Right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to left tricep. Hold here. Flex the foot, quietly step it outside the left hand. Lizard lunge. Now keep your right palm down on the ground. Reach your left arm back behind you towards the back of the mat. And then as you sort of rainbow your left arm up over your head, begin to straighten your left leg to any degree. Inhale, open, and exhale, straighten the leg. Let's do 3 more. Nice and slow, controlled. Great job. Rebend the left knee. We come back into that seated twist, so the right knee comes outside the left ankle. And sit down. Left hand behind you on the mat. Right arm can do whatever it wants, whatever feels good in your body, whatever allows you to feel that twist in the spine. Maybe even close the eyes for a couple breaths. Blink open the eyes. Release that hook, whatever you had held. Make your way into pigeon. So lean over to the right side. Swing that left leg straight back. Make your way into pigeon pose. And really take your time to get there. Make sure you set it up so that it feels good. There's no point in rushing into a pose just to get there fast, and then you end up injuring yourself over time. Most often in yoga, it's not that you get injured from doing something one time. It's the repetitive movements over and over and over, going too deep, taking poses that you shouldn't be doing, taking binds that don't fit your skeletal structure. So it's a reminder that we want to be practicing and moving in our bodies until hopefully our last day on earth. So it's not a race to get anywhere or to push yourself to be the best in anything. It's like there is no perfect in yoga. So get out of your head that you need to arrive in some position fast and then it needs to be perfect. You just want to come back to the sensation of the stretch, reconnect with the breath, to feel good in the body. That's what it's all about. Wrists come under the shoulders, begin to straighten the arms. Tuck the left toes under, inhale right leg to the sky, three-legged dog, just through a transition to wild thing. See if you can slow down the movement. Resist gravity. Slowly transition to side plank on the right. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Grip into the mat even more with your fingertips. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Send all the energy out of the left fingertips. So you're really, really, really reaching. Soften the breath. Exhale, left forearm down to the ground. Right arm reaches up to the sky, switch the feet. So you notice you have to really use your left thumb and your left pinky to keep that balance. There's a lot of activation of the fingers. Exhale, right forearm down to the ground. Forearm plank. Now keep the right leg where it's at. The left foot is going to lift up off the ground. And then exhale, left knee to left tricep. Send it back, step it down, switch the legs. Right knee, right tricep. And bring it back. Left. Right. Continue to switch on your own. Try to keep the hips low. Great job. Last two. Last one on the right. And then lower the hips down. Sphinx pose. Come onto the tops of the feet. Stretch out the abs. Broaden the collarbone. Option to take seal by extending the arms. Engage the glutes either way. Slowly lower the forearms back down. Come onto the toes. And then lift the hips back to forearm plank. And we meet in dolphin. Walk the feet forward. Really press the chest through. And then gaze forward, make sure the hands, the arms are set up. And then shift forward, chaturanga. Press it up, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Walk the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Sweep the hands for chair pose. Both feet and knees are hip distance apart for this variation. Imagine pulling your shins towards the back of the mat. Lift the chest a little bit higher. And then start to sit the butt down. We meet in low boat. Extend the legs, the shoulders are up off the ground. Hollow body, everything is engaged. We meet in chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. However you get to chaturanga is fine. Your practice, your flow. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Step, float, handstand to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Feet hip distance apart. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sweep the hands, chair pose. And exhale, lower down, boat pose. Stay here for the inhale. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Let's do 3 more all together. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, just because we're having so much fun. Float, hop to the top. Inhale to lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose on the inhale. Exhale, low boat. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, make your way to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, low boat. Now this time, if you want to take crow pose on the way to chaturanga, you're welcome to. Exhale, make your way there. We meet in downward dog. However you get there is perfect. Last round, maybe try out that crow pose again. Inhale the heels, exhale, bend the knees. Step, float, handstand to the top to inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, stay. Exhale, all the way to downward dog. However you get there is fabulous. As long as you're moving with the breath. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, 3-legged dog. Open stack, flex the right foot, pull the right heel into the right glute, push the ground away. Left heel lifts off, exhale, right knee to right tricep. Hold it here. Step the right foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Now start to wiggle your left foot back so you really have as much space as you can so that you can really straighten your left leg. And then start to come onto the knife edge of your right foot, and the right knee comes over to the right. So you're just opening up the right hip. Now, option to stay here as you are, keep that left leg straight, or the option to begin to reach the right arm up, and then maybe the left. Nice and slow. The only rule here is to keep your right toe pulling back towards your right knee. Just do your best. Slow down the breath. Last 3, 2, 1. Hands come back down to the ground. Right sole of the foot comes back to the ground, so we're back to that runner's lunge. Shift forward, standing splits. Left leg reaches up to the sky. Your right quad is engaged. Option to hold on to the right ankle with one or both hands. Inhale, come all the way up to standing for tree pose. You can assist that left ankle to the inner right thigh or the shin, as long as it's not on the knee. Now with the hands, you can bring them behind your back and just hold on to opposite elbows. Or if you want to take reverse prayer, you can start to press the fingers together as you reach your hands up your back for reverse prayer. So whatever variation you took is great. Engage the glutes, especially the left one, so it helps to open up the left hip. Stand nice and tall. Focus your gaze on one point. Soften the breath. Feel that connection to yourself, that connection to everything that is. Slowly release. Tree, we meet in warrior 3. Palms together, hands at the heart. Send that left leg straight back. Left foot is flexed. The inner left thigh is reaching up towards the ceiling. And then start to bend both knees. Left knee taps the outside of the right shin or the right calf. Bring it right back up, warrior 3. Let's do 2 more. Slowly lower down. Tap. Bring it right back up. Last one. As we tap, we're going to hold it here. Chest is lifted. And then make your way into a seated twist, maybe with the help of the hands to lower the hips down. Right hand behind you on the mat. Left hand can do whatever it wants. You've been here before, so you know the drill. Lengthen the spine. Soften into the twist. If your right hip lifts up off the ground, that's fine. You're just creating a little bit more space for your sacrum. That's great. Now you have the option to stay here in this twist, or if you want to take an arm balance from here, you can take Ekapada Kundianasana 1 with eagle legs. So if that's you and you would like to give it a try, then you'll start to lift the hips up, place both hands down on the right side of your mat so that they're parallel with the right side edge, and then start to shift the weight onto the triceps. You can either point or flex the feet, and keep the chest lifted, so you're really using your fingertips as your brakes. Gaze is over the left shoulder. Breathe. If you took the arm balance, slowly make your way back out. Come back into that seated twist. all together, release the twist. Shift the weight over to the left side, swing the right leg straight back, pigeon pose. Maybe you want to take it a little bit deeper with that left hip now that the hips are a little bit more open. So play around with it. Maybe you want to explore some different movements with the hip. Maybe bring the left ankle farther forward. For me, it doesn't feel that great, but maybe it does for you. You can walk both hands over to the left or over to the right. Option to bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand. Hold on to the big toe side of the foot. Start to pull the heel close to the glute. Stretch out the quad and the shoulder. So lots of options here in this pigeon or king pigeon variation. Release the foot if you had it held. We're here for 3 more breaths in pigeon. So take this chance to consciously slow down the breath. Reconnect with that intention that you set at the beginning. The wrists come under the shoulders. Start to straighten the arms, lift the chest. Tuck the right toes under, lift the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, lizard lunge. From here you have an option to take Ekapada Kundyanasana 2, arm balance. Otherwise, if you don't want to fly or if this one isn't your jam, that's fine. We're all going to meet in Chaturanga. So you could either meet us there, option to set the knees down, of course, or float with me. If you take Ekapada, then shift forward, start to bend the arms, and then extend that left leg straight out. So both legs are straight, fully engaged, and you have a little bit of a lift in the chest. Gently set down the right toes, and the left foot comes back to meet the right. Chaturanga, we're all there. Press it up, high plank. Shift it forward, high on the toes, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. If you need to take a break, take child's pose. You know that's always there for you. But this is a short class, so let's just keep going. Inhale, left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open stack the hips, left heel towards the left glute. And right heel lifts off, exhale, left knee to left tricep. Hold it here first. Flex the left foot, runner's lunge. Again, wiggle those right toes back so you find as much length as you can in the right leg. Right leg is fully straight. And then come onto the knife edge of the left foot. That left knee starts to come out. So you always want the quad tracking the same direction as the foot. Now flex the left toes up towards the left knee, and then you could either just stay here, or option to lift the hands. Give it a try, 5 breaths. Great job, hands come back down to the ground if they were lifted. Back to that runner's lunge. Shift forward, standing splits. Right leg floats up. Option to hold on to the left ankle. Engage the left quad. Release, rise up to standing. Tree pose. You can hold on to the ankle place the foot. And then again, you could either hold on to your opposite elbows behind your back, or you can take reverse prayer. If you've come into reverse prayer and you notice it's too deep, something doesn't feel right, then just come back out. There's no obligation to stay. You never want to fight through any sensations of pain in yoga, sort of counter to the practice. So come into a place that feels good for you. Focus your gaze, soften the breath. Just 2 more breaths here. We meet in Warrior 3, palms together, hands at the heart. Right leg comes straight back. Clean it up here. Drop right into the pose. Straight line from the crown of the head to the right heel. And then bend both knees. Right knee taps the left calf. Send it right back up. Let's do 2 more. Move with the breath. Exhale slowly. Tap. Last one. Tap and hold. And then come into a seat. Seated twist. Left hand behind you on the mat. Take whatever bind feels good for you. Option to stay here, close the eyes. Or you can take that arm balance, Ekapada Kundyanasana 1 with eagle legs. If you took the arm balance, make your way back out. Just as slowly as you went in. We meet back in that seated twist. 2 more breaths here, just to reset. Release the twist all together. Bring the weight over on the right hip, and then swing that left leg straight back. Pigeon pose. And again, here's that opportunity for you to explore what feels good in your body. If you want that quad stretch, and you can begin to bend the left leg, grab onto the left foot. Slowly begin to bring your left heel towards your left glute. If you had the foot held, gently release. 3 more breaths here in pigeon. Nice and easy. Regain control of the breath. Again, become the observer of the mind. Just observe what's happening without judgment, without expectations. Just observe. The wrists come under the shoulders. Start to straighten the arms. Tuck the left toes under. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Open stack the hips. Flex the right foot, right heel towards the right glute. Exhale, left heel lifts off. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Hold. Lizard lunge. Silently make your way there. Now again, this option to take Ekapada Hundyanasana 2, arm balance, or you can skip it and meet us in Chaturanga with the knees up or down. Take your time to get there. Just move with the breath, however you're moving. Connect with the breath. If you took the arm balance, left toes step down, right foot comes back to meet it, Chaturanga. Push it up, high plank. Shift it forward, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Again, connect with that stillness within by connecting to the breath. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. You can walk the feet through or float through. We're all going to meet in a comfortable seat. Once you're there, the feet are hip distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. Bring the hands behind you, fingertips point towards the heels. And then begin to lift the hips up, reverse tabletop. Engage the glutes even more. Shift forward, start to lower the hips down all the way to the ground. This time a little bit closer to the heels. And then there should be almost no effort here. So if you feel like you're exerting energy, then maybe just bring the hands closer to the hips. Start to inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, maybe a little bend in the elbows towards the back of the mat. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bend. What we're targeting here is the front side of our shoulders, our anterior deltoid muscle, which is a pretty hard muscle to stretch, especially after all those chaturangas. It's good to stretch this out. Maybe even close the eyes here, continue to move with the breath. Nice and easy, you're not forcing anything. Start to walk the hands forward. Extend them out in front of you, and then begin to lower all the way onto your back. Cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Figure 4. You can either hold on to your left hamstring or your left shin. Flex both feet. Slowly pull the legs closer to your chest, just until you feel the sensation in the stretch. Option to stay here, or if you want to take a deeper variation, you can fork lift the right leg. So if you do, bring both hands through the triangle, bring the right leg into both elbows, and then start to extend the left leg straight. If you took that variation, make your way back into figure 4. And all together, release the hands. Bring your legs over to the left. So the outer left thigh comes down to the ground, the right sole of the foot as well. And then that left hand you can place on the inside of your right knee and gently press the knee away. Extend the right arm out to your side. Close the eyes. Soften the breath. Release. Hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then both soles of the feet down on the ground as you lift the hips for bridge pose. Engage the glutes. Tuck the shoulders under, option to interlace the hands behind the back. Engage the glutes even more. Keep a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. Release the hands if you had them held. Arms reach up overhead, lift the heels. Slowly lower the hips back down to the ground. Hands come back down to your sides, windshield wiper the knees. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Figure 4. Both feet are flexed. Option to forklift that left leg. Whatever variation you're in, then send the breath to the outer left hip and anywhere else in your body where you feel you need it. And of course, I don't mean to actually send the lungs to the hip. What I mean by sending the breath is sending the energy of the breath, the life force, the prana, that healing energy that we cultivate through the breath. We meet back in that figure 4. Release the hands and supine twist over to the right. Left sole of the foot gently touches down on the ground. Option to bring your right hand to the inside of your left knee. Gently press away. Left arm extends out to the left. You close down the eyes. Coming to the end of class. You're inviting that subtle energy, that softness, that ease into your practice, knowing that it's just as valuable as the strength. We always have to have that balance between the yin and the yang. So this part of your practice is also very important. Cool down, to take Shavasana, to meditate. That balance is so important. Release out of the twist. Hug both knees into the chest. Take a big inhale, fill up the lungs all the way to the top. Hold at the top. And exhale, open mouth, let it go. Heels come to the corners of your mat. For Shavasana. And then before we slip into Shavasana, we're going to do one round of breath work. So for this, you can just keep the legs straight, the feet naturally fall open. You can bring your hands down at your sides. We'll just do one round of this before we slip in. So close down the eyes. And then we'll just begin with some power breaths, about 30 of them. And then at the end of that, we'll exhale all the air out, and we'll hold on the exhalation for just about a minute. And then after that, we'll inhale and hold on the inhale for 10 seconds. So that'll be it. It's just one round. You can do up to 5 rounds of this if you'd like on your own, but we'll just be doing one together here in class. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. Big inhale. Exhale, open mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Continue on your own. Nice, slow, big, deep breaths. Each time you inhale, the belly lifts, the chest lifts up and expands. And each time you exhale, you relax, you release, you let go. Fully in, let it go. Fully in, let it go. Beautiful job. Keep it up. Nice and slow. If you start to notice sensations of tingling, or maybe even the sound starts to fade out, just make that part of your practice. It's fine. Whatever's happening to your body is all good. Beautiful. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, big inhale. And as you exhale all the air out, and then hold at the bottom. You're holding the breath. Nice and easy. Invite all the sensations, whatever you're feeling in your body, it's all good. You're healing your body on a cellular level. Continue to hold. You're already more than halfway. Relax into it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Fill the lungs all the way up. And then hold at the top, just 10 seconds. And exhale, release. Let your breath come back to its natural state. And just invite all the sensations into your body as you melt right into Shavasana. You'll just stay here as you are on your back. I'm going going to grab the hand pan and play a little bit of music for some sound healing, but you can just stay as you are. Put all of your attention on the breath. As you inhale, notice how cool the air is. Feel when it comes in through your nose. And as you exhale, notice how warm it feels when it exits the body. Nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale. And repeat. Let your next breath be deeper than your last. As you fill the lungs all the way up. And exhale, open mouth, let it go. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. As you wake yourself back up into this space. Option to reach the arms up over the head. Take one last stretch. And then roll onto your side. And press yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Maybe keep the eyes closed the whole time and just feel your way back to a seat. Moving with intention, moving with awareness, moving with the breath. Once you found that comfortable seat, we'll be here for just a minute or two for meditation. So make any last adjustments you need and then sit nice and tall. Keep that awareness on the breath. We're slowly training our attention to focus on one thing. So we can step into the present moment a little bit easier, a little bit faster, and then the longer we practice meditation, the more time you spend in the present moment. You spend in the now. And when you're there, you have a whole lot more inner peace because the ego has such a difficult time existing in that space. So if you're looking for a way to advance your practice in yoga, of course you can always advance it physically. You can try different poses, different arm balances, different transitions, and keep pushing yourself to learning, growing. But if you really want to advance your practice of yoga, then you should meditate every day for longer, so that you can really step into that space of awareness more easily. You can carry that inner peace with you when you step off your mat and into the world. And when you step into the now more and more often, you step into the flow of the universe. Things just start to click effortlessly. So I recommend, if you want to advance your practice from here, then you should meditate more. The idea, if you don't have 10 minutes to meditate, then you should be meditating for 20. Because all of the secrets in the universe lie in the gaps between the thoughts, one breath at a time, to step into the now. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice, for sharing your energy and your space, your time. With love and gratitude. Namaste.